Setting up the screen for McCaffrey. That was an off-target errant throw, and Jordan Whitehead came flying in. McCaffrey out there as well. Bridgewater stepping up. That ball's loose. Jason Pierre-Paul scooped it up. Nobody touched him down, so that's a live ball. Bridgewater throws behind his intended target in DJ Moore, and it's picked off by Carlton Davis. And there's the block. A flag is thrown, but Patrick O'Connor scoops it up for Tampa Bay and takes it down to the 10-yard line of Denver. Another 3rd and long. Driscoll maneuvering and wrapped up. That ball came out loose. If he's ruled down, it's a safety. And indeed, it is a sack for Shaquille Barrett and 2 points on the board from the Bucs defense. Another blitz. Driscoll with a fluttering pass and a leaping interception from Levante David. Ripping to the end zone, and it's picked off by Edwards. First career interception for the former Kentucky Wildcat.
2nd down and 7 for LA. Play action. Herbert. Deep ball. He gives it away. Intercepted by Carlton Davis. Davis has blockers, walks the tightrope, and he's out of bounds.
Rocky, hey, come on, James.
On 1st down, Robinson. That's in the air and picked. Back the other way, Carlton Davis.
Since the first time he saw him, and just loves the way he plays the game.
Pass is picked. Intercepted. Back the other way. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. With few exceptions, the Packers have taken the play clock down to about 1. Here's one broken up, another pick. Deflected, and back is Mike Edwards just into the ball game, and he is down at the 2.
Playing corner. Big drive for Carr and the Raiders. And it's off the hands of Aguilar and taken away by Antoine Winfield. First career interception for the outstanding rookie.
Pressure comes late. Jones hit as he throws, and it's intercepted. Good protection. Now it breaks down. Jones hasn't run all night, and it's picked off.
Here they come again. Breeze. That time they got to him, and the pass is...
They call it a fumble.
They're going to call it a fumble. Right. They threw the beanbag there for the moment.
Christian McCaffrey not playing as well with a shoulder injury. Here's a fake blitz again. Bridgewater steps up in trouble. Throws, and it's intercepted by Pierre-Paul, who dropped in coverage and has the pick.
And it's intercepted. Jason Pierre-Paul for the Buccaneers. It's one of the ways Sean McVay stays in such great shape. He's running down the sideline all the time, ready to call timeout. That pass is intercepted. Jordan Whitehead for Tampa Bay.
He even has a better chance. 1st and goal. Ball is on the ground. And is picked up by the Bucs. They make a play.
A really great lead and just failed to capitalize. Just a 4-man rush. Ball is out. Picked up by JPP.
We still got another game on NFL Network coming up tonight. Dolphins and Raiders. Don't forget on Prime Video coming up in just a little bit. It'll be Niners and Cardinals. And there is Herb Miller.
Tampa brings pressure, picked up for the moment. Heineke has it deflected, and it looks like it's intercepted.
2nd and 9 now. This one's picked. Intercepted by the Bucs. It's Murphy bunting down the sideline. He is going to be marked out at the 3. Still no catches for Michael Thomas. You see the total yards in the game, 2nd and 8. Breeze throws, and he's picked by Devin White. Another turnover, and White picks his way down the sideline.
Well, they've got to get somebody down the middle or up the sideline.
Breeze able to step into this one. This one's up for grabs and picked.
JPP's gotten after him a couple times now.
And he's really made Turner almost anticipate the snap count. Here's a pick by Murphy Bunting.
If he can put that cape on, it's time. It's going to be tough.
3rd and 14. He heaves it. It's knocked away, and on the deflection, it's intercepted.
He did that this year, and this culture's changed forever.
Here comes Mahomes. Trying to find the end zone, and no! How about that? One last indignity.
Dallas now from the 25-yard line, starting this drive with another pass. Prescott fires into a lot of traffic, and it's picked off at the 50-yard line. Carlton Davis runs it back to the 19-yard line.
They finished that half. Now they got to carry it over after the break.
Ryan to throw, quick drop, tipped in the air, and it's intercepted. It is picked off. I think Shaq Barrett is the guy who got his hands on it. It is. And a Buccaneers turnover. Blitz coming. Ryan sees it. Oh, it's intercepted. Picked off. Edwards has it all the way for the touchdown. On 1st down. Blitz coming. Ryan knocked way in the air. And that's going to be intercepted. And that's going to be returned for a touchdown by Edwards again. 2 interception touchdowns for Mike Edwards.
3rd down and 10. Here comes pressure. Look out. He gets in as he throws. And it's juggled and it's intercepted. Antoine Winfield with the interception.
45 race. Big if they can go down and score. This keeps them in this thing.
Oh, the ball came out. Got knocked loose from behind. It's still on the ground.
Shaq Barrett with the strip coming around the edge.
Recovered by the Buccaneers.
Dolphins are giving up too many big plays just in general this year. They're not getting off the field on 3rd down. And the offense, actually, this is one of the best performances I think this offense has had.
Well, there you go. There's the defense making the play on the takeaway. It's Dean with the pick off the hands of Waddle.
Good protection again. Aired out, far sideline, and picked. Intercepted by Dean.
Here's a 3rd and 5 ball. Still in the hands of Fields, who goes downfield and is intercepted by D. Delaney. Delaney getting his first start today, and he's got an INT and a return to the 39. 3rd and 5. Fields has been picked 4 times this year, all of them on 3rd down, including today. And he lost the football. The arm was going forward. Barrett got there first. And Tampa Bay has the recovery. Another short field coming up.
The turnover really hurt, gave him a short field, but then the drop by Komet, that was a 1st down.
Here's Fields, bodies around him, and again the ball comes out. Shaq Barrett picks it up, loses it himself. White has it, and he's tackled down by Daniels at the 25-yard line. JPP, Jason Pierre-Paul, was the one this time who knocked it out of Fields' hands.
The game is much more difficult.
3rd and 12. Pass is going to be picked. It is. What a catch, too, on the interception. Whitehead returns it out to about the 33 if he wasn't down earlier. Starting the 4th, 2nd and 11. Coming after him. Got it away. Long and picked. Picked off by Desir.
And people out there were like, should have held out for more. Here's Daniel Jones. Just threw it right to the Buccaneers. Steve McClendon, the 12th year player. That's his first interception of his career. He'll never get one easier than that.
That's the key, the versatility, how he's cross-trained them all.
Pressure, knocked off the hands and intercepted. Off of Devin White, and Edwards, you're just talking about him, comes up with a pick.
How about the opening drive? Every play's been a pass. Another one. Pressure from Barrett. Ball is loose. It's out. Still loose, and it's recovered by Barrett. Shaq Barrett, the strip, the sack, and the recovery. Another fake. Wentz rolling out, setting up to go deep. Going to float one deep down the field for Pittman. It is intercepted by Winfield. Over the back comes Winfield with room to run. Up across the 30, and he's met there and taken down. Antoine Winfield went up and got it. Wentz, three-man rush, still pressured, rolls out, stands in, airing it out, going deep towards the end zone. It's intercepted. Pierre Desir, game over.
That's what they tried. They tried to get the one-on-one backside. Wentz.
This becomes an enormous point in the game right here.
Off the first penalty of the game against Tampa Bay, Allen able to unload it. Was that picked? Right off the ground. It is an interception, and it's Richard Sherman in his return game with his 37th career pick. That's the most for an active player in the league, Richard Sherman.
That's one of the many steps that have to happen for Tampa to be the #1 seed in the NFC. Newt surveying the field, lobs it in the air, and it's batted away and then intercepted by Murphy Bunting. It was tipped away by Shaq Barrett and caromed into the hands of Jordan Whitehead, rather.
You know, the Buccaneers did this season, bringing all these guys back.
Darnold on first down, and he's intercepted. It's the first turnover, or second turnover of the day, as the Buccaneers are able to force the interception. It's Andrew Adams, one of the backup.
That's really good work. Hurts, end zone, picked off. Intercepted by Mike Edwards. Extra men on the rush. Eagles pick it up. Hurts throws, and it's picked. Intercepted by Shaq Barrett. And he's rumbling all the way to the 36-yard line. An interception in the third turnover by the Eagles in this game.
Akers. Oh, he lost the ball! And the Buccaneers come up with it at the 30-yard line. And Ndamukong Suh.
Here we go. The 26-yard line, the Bucs bring 4. Prescott escapes, throws on the run, throws an interception to Winfield. Antoine Winfield Jr. stays in bounds. Lost a couple of yards along the way. But the guy who makes that back end go for the Buccaneers.
Ingram this time. He's got another big hole, and Mark Ingram's starting. Ball is loose. Oh, there's a big fight for it. The Bucs say they have it. There's a fake. Pressure up the middle. Winston, there he goes. Going deep, down the field. Intercepted! Jamel Dean with a terrific pick. They listened to you, Greg Olsen, but the Bucs denied it. Winston dancing, going deep, and that is long and incomplete, and it's picked. Dean's got another one, racing down the sideline. A 2-interception half for Jamel Dean.
He knows that short slant is Michael Thomas's route.
Winston again, just firing now, and it's picked off again. Mike Edwards has it. Edwards looking for the end zone. One man to beat, and Edwards is going to go for the touchdown. 67 yards. 3rd and 5. Rodgers over the middle, and it's intercepted. The Buccaneers get a big turnover. It's Logan Ryan, who had the fumble recovery earlier.
Those are the guys now that are starting to pick it up.
From midfield, pressure picked up. Mahomes throwing. Oh, he threw an interception. He threw it across his body and across the field. And on the return, Sean Murphy-Bunting, who had played almost no defense in the first 3 games, with a nice return here, has it out of bounds around the 30-yard line.
Smith, he's going to run it himself. He's running out of time instead. He fumbled it. Ball's loose. And the Bucs recover.
Wow.
Time winds down as Brissett fires downfield. And this one is picked off in the end zone by Mike Edwards as the half comes to an end.
I think you're going to see these linebackers blitz a lot. Not a lot of guys blitzing, but 4 or 5.
Going 1st and 10. They fake the P. Ryan. Ball is tipped. And there's your man, Carlton Davis, who gets it off the deflection with the interception. This is a defense that had only 3 takeaways in the last 9 games.
So you get the path and the pedigree for McSorley. Very different from Brady, who he has watched for most of his career. Pressure out here. He gets hit from behind. It's a free ball. And Devin White's got it on the run. He is chased down by Trey McBride.
But you're going to have to move around a little bit if you're Trace McSorley to give him that much time to get down the field.
Final play of regulation. There he is moving, buying time, ready to uncork, puts it up for grabs. It is intercepted by the Buccaneers at the 5.
180. It's up. Fake to Hubbard. Darnold steps away from pressure, lofty deep, going end zone. It is intercepted. Sean Murphy-Bunting got it. Blitz coming. Picked up. And Darnold hit. Ball is loose. Who's going to get it? Bucs say they've got it. They do!
3rd and 6. Pressure's coming. Cousins is dead. The ball is out. And the Buccaneers have it. Antoine Winfield Jr. comes away with it. 2nd and 1. Cousins over the middle. Osborne. Oh, it's picked off. Intercepted by Tampa Bay. Christian Izien, the undrafted rookie from Rutgers, with his first pick in the NFL.
Out of his own end zone, intercepted by Shaq Barrett, fighting at the goal line for a pick 6 that just might seal the deal for Tampa. 3rd down and 19. Fields over the middle. Claypool couldn't hang on. It's intercepted. 2 games, 2 picks for the rookie, Christian Izien. Moves the ball to the 22. Blitz. Picked. Intercepted by Devin White. And White out of bounds at the 45. Goddard threw a nice block on that run as well. Hurts has all day. Looking for Smith. It is caught and intercepted by D. Delaney.
It doesn't go the way that you want at home, but you can't let a team beat you 2 weeks in a row. You got to.
Ball's out on the near sack of Carr. Let's see how they rule it. And on the field, Logan Hall. They just didn't allow any quarterback for the Saints to get comfortable. Winston trying to air it out deep, and it's intercepted. D. Delaney in the area. Looks like Winston was trying to get it to Olave, and it was an underthrow. Let's check the flag. Back inside the 20. Ritter. Ball's out. Loose. And the Buccaneers have it. Ruled as a fumble. Jamel Dean recovers for Tampa Bay.
Start with Cook in the backfield. Play action. Tipped in the air. And Tampa Bay thinks they have come up with it. Meanwhile, coming in was Antoine Winfield forcing it.
2nd and 10, 6.5 to play. Levis hit as he throws. It's up for grabs, and it's picked off. Antoine Winfield Jr. on the return with blockers ahead, and Winfield is tackled at the 42.
Yeah, man, the great stuff. Steichen watching a lot of football last Sunday, so it felt nice to be a fan with all the screens watching games.
That pass is intercepted. Carlton Davis. Boy, Tampa Bay needed a play, and it's Davis.
In the final second, how does this one end?
That one wasn't picked. Yes, it was. Carlton Davis, pick 6.
Desmond Ritter and company take over, working from their own 8-yard line.
Ritter feels the pocket. Football's loose in the end zone. And this is going to be a safety. Antoine Winfield coming around the blind side. And Ritter never felt him coming.
Love, pressure coming. He's in trouble. He lost the football. Scooped up by Tampa Bay. Logan Hall recovers the fumble.
They'll drop out and try and keep things in front and force them out of field goal range, because remember how windy it is, and they drop out.
3rd and 15 into the nickel. It's intercepted and picked off by White. Devin White gets the ball. Ingram brings him down. Another turnover for the quarterback, Trevor Lawrence.
Well, multiple times we've seen that pressure where they drop out the edge and bring the 2 inside linebackers. That time able to pick it up and allow Lawrence to get the ball off.
2nd down and 5. Going deep and intercepted on the play. Winfield caught it. Scoops it up. A 2nd interception thrown by quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Another giveaway. And the Buccaneers will take over. 2nd time is thrown to Calvin Ridley. First time he has caught one. 61st reception of the season. 1st and 10. Lawrence hit down. Fumble on the play. Diaby may have gotten him. He did. Fumble. Another turnover by Jacksonville. This has been a disaster.
Ball spotted back at the 33-yard line. Young hit as he got rid of it. Question was the arm moving forward? It is ruled a fumble.
Josh Reynolds went back to the locker room after the Lions' last drive is on the field here. Detroit started this drive back to the 10. They've taken it out to midfield. Goff is brought down and sacked. What a good job twisting in. Can't see it, David.
Daniels, pressure comes down, he goes, ball is out, and it's covered up by Washington. Gibbs in motion, both backs out there, Goff throwing over the middle, and it's intercepted. Zion McCollum, just cleared from concussion protocol yesterday, delivers with his first pick of the season on play number 1 today. 2nd and 16 for Detroit. Goff, pocket collapsing, throws over the middle, and it's picked off. He threw it right into the hands of Christian Izien.
Huge opportunity to score some points.
Blitz coming through. Hurts gets away. Now ball is stripped. Loose. Bucs recover. Levante David came on the blitz and forced the fumble.
London flanked outside. Going for it. Fired over the middle. Intercepted at the 35-yard line. Levante David, the heart and soul of that defense, comes up with the play.
An Auburn guy and an Alabama guy teaming up for a sack. Whoever would have thought. Football unites. 2nd and 19, and they're getting after Rattler yet again. This time, it's Kalijah Kancey, who had 4 sacks as a rookie last year. He is into the backfield to get a second one on Rattler here. Tampa Bay leads New Orleans in this key NFC South meeting. Fresh set of downs for Rattler, and a flick downfield, and it is picked off! Zion McCollum was waiting for his moment. He finally takes one away. Then he loses the ball inside of the 45-yard line.
If it's going to be a heavy run game, there's a lot of factors.
That's a toss into the arms of a waiting Tyke Smith. And the rookie looking for his first career interception on what has been a nice 2-week stretch for the third-round pick out of Georgia. He's got the pick.
On this part of this defense with their personnel.
Against this wounded Bucs defense. O'Connell's pass is intercepted. Tyke Smith.
Since we just saw him in New York a month and a half ago, we lost him this past week. We just wanted to take some time to recognize him. Ball's up in the air. It is picked off. And it's Ryan Neal, Jamel Dean, 35 on the interception.
They're not able to communicate across the board which guys are blitzing. Need about 15 yards to get into field goal range for Nick Folk. Pass picked off! Taylor picked off! It's Jacob. Jamel Dean who takes it all the way back for a Bucs touchdown. Dean returns it 55 yards. Vita Bay, love it.
Second down and 1.
There's the pressure.
Here's the pressure. Winfield had it. He throws an interception. It's picked off. It's picked off by Levante David.
3rd and 4 for San Francisco. Pass picked. He gets on his feet. He might score. Bill Dorr with the interception. 4th and 5. Throwing for it and intercepted. That's Dean. Jamel Dean with the interception. There is a flag.
Those matchups against these skill players is awfully tough. That was Laporta in motion. Goff, the ball's out. And Tampa Bay has it. That's a fumble. And Yaya Diaby gets on top of it as it was knocked out of the right hand. Tampa Bay's done a great job defensively. On second down, here is a pick. Intercepted. And it's Dean.
What I like is now the Saints offense relying on their guys, right? Alvin Kamara getting the ball more. Second down and 1. Oh, wow! It's picked off and taken into the end zone for a touchdown by Anthony Nelson. But there's a flag. There is a flag out at the 12-yard line. Chuck's pass. Oh, no. Oh, taken away by Winfield. Antoine Winfield returning it all the way, but again.
It's okay, he signals to his young quarterback. 3rd and goal. May. He's got time. Now throws. And he's intercepted in the end zone by Tyke Smith. The one who hit him right on the sideline a couple of plays ago.
2nd and 10 from the 5. Cook in the backfield.
Another
Allen
blocked.
Look out. Allen gets out of there. He floats it. Ill-advised. And it's picked off. Jacob Parrish is there. Jacob Parrish with the pick. Josh Allen trying to make something happen. And the Buccaneers are in business. Shotgun Allen. They need 2 yards. Allen will throw. It's popped up. And it's picked off. Servassier Dennis. What a day he's having. Tyke Smith once again with the deflection.
He's at the bottom of the screen on this 2nd and 4 snap. Brissett looking that direction almost, and it is intercepted, deflected into the arms of a diving Antoine Winfield.
Neal the back, shuck to the air, going long, nobody home, easy pick right there, McCollum. Get up, you haven't been touched. As he does, springs back up, Neal will grab him out of bounds. Interception thrown by the Saints, picked up by McCollum, number 1 this year.
The clock at 1 when Young snaps it, looks to the right side, long throw, and he threw a pick.
tried to get the ball to McMillan, but Jacob Parrish, one of those rookie corners stepping up today with Dean out, makes the play.